The 5 reasons why the financial district is going to boom is the beautiful aesthetic of the neighborhood, the wonderful retail shopping scene, the high-end dining scene, the luxury residential development housing scene, and the convenience factor. The financial district is finally rebranding, and oh, is it beautiful. Welcome back to Real Estate Investing in New York with me, Christina Kremidas. And in this episode, we are discussing the great rebrand of the financial district. So stay tuned, we're covering everything here. This is Real Estate Investing in New York with Christina Kremidas, helping you achieve a future of financial success by making intelligent real estate investment decisions today. Welcome back. We are going to be talking all about the financial district and the latest updates and why I believe you should invest in this neighborhood as soon as possible. We're going to jump right in and first address the fact that the financial district has been very underappreciated, really not loved at all for a long time. I mean, especially since the World Trade Center attack happened, the area was desolate for nearly 2 decades. And even prior to that, it was very commercial. So the assumption was that while people were at work, the area would be bustling, but really just with work people stuff like delis and this and that. And then when work lets out, the area got quiet. And after September 11th, the area was extremely quiet most of the day, honestly. And I am very connected to this area specifically because I went to university in this neighborhood, and that was from the years of 2008 to 2012. I met my husband at school, and we stayed in the neighborhood for a few reasons after graduating. One was the convenience factor, especially after I went into the real estate industry, needing access to every single subway line and ease of transport, especially between every area of Manhattan, also into every area of Brooklyn. The financial district is a phenomenal hub, which is underappreciated. And it's extremely convenient, which is one of the reasons why we've always stayed here and loved it. Additionally, another reason why the area has been underappreciated is you are waterfront on both sides of the island. The Manhattan Island comes down to a tip at the bottom of the city, and you have access to water very close to you on both the seaport, the South Street Seaport, eastern edge of the financial district, as well as the western edge of the financial district where you get Battery Park City. And these are waterfront towns that are like port towns that feel like resort communities, and they are finally being built up to what they could be in their full potential. And there are so many new amenities that have been coming into the area. So historically, people that lived in the financial district enjoyed obviously being able to be waterfront, to see water from their apartments, but there weren't a ton of residential units to be had. The architecture in the area is gorgeous, and it's very Art Deco, pre-war. The same architect, for example, that built the Empire State Building, built the building that I ended up buying in, which is a beautiful Art Deco limestone structure. And it is just a specific vibe that you don't find everywhere. A lot of other neighborhoods of Manhattan are very cookie cutter apartments built in the 70s or 80s, and the ceilings aren't very high. Things look more ordinary. And in the financial district, you find these buildings with very high ceilings. You find these landmark structures with ornate, beautiful architecture and stone facades, things that you don't see everywhere. And these buildings are converting into residential now instead of being strictly commercial, because there's really not as much commercial in this neighborhood as there used to be. And there are some brand new buildings that were built at the World Trade Center that have been accommodating a lot of the commercial demand. And now these other towers that are quite beautiful are being converted into residential units. Something interesting about the way the financial district is developing and the way it's branding is that everything that's coming into this area is absolutely beautiful. It's coming in with a very high-end feel, but not just sticking the word luxury onto it. It's really being built with a sense of character and an attention to detail that is truly unique, especially when it comes to the real estate, especially when it comes to dining institutions. And I'm going to get into more detail on this. I am calling this rebrand or this coming of age of the financial district as a very Great Gatsby 1920s-esque Renaissance feeling. And I love that about this area because it's been a long time coming, but because the area just calls for it. It just matches so perfectly with the existing heritage of the area. Note that the financial district is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Manhattan, if not Manhattan's first neighborhood. There are restaurants in the financial district where George Washington literally dined. This is an area filled with history and heritage. There were about 550 new development residential sales in the financial district in the past 5 years across 7 beautiful luxurious new development buildings. To note them specifically, we had 130 William Street, which was a very different vibe than any other new developments you may have seen. It is very dark and moody, heavy, dark marble, luxurious, rich colors, velvets, really ornate fixtures and finishes, high-end marble, very expensive project. And the exterior of the building is so interesting with a cement stone exterior that has very dramatic arches, and it's a dark color to the exterior of the building. Very special product. That project kind of started to sway the way the rest of the neighborhood has been getting developed, really. It was very inspirational for the time. There's the new development at 1 Wall Street, which started selling recently. Again, luxuriously finished building, but this one is very special because it's a huge, landmarked, very buzzy building. It got a lot of press. There are phenomenal amenities that are treated like a private club in this building, including a private restaurant, bar situation where really the building is a social club. That's how it feels. There's no barrier to entry like a co-op, meaning that if you're qualified, you can simply buy in this building. They're not like judging you from a social club aspect, but there is this country club vibe to the building. The building houses a Whole Foods, which was new to the area in terms of better supermarket options. And there is a huge new development coming to this location, which I'm going to talk about in more detail. And this is a designer department store. 125 Greenwich Street is a huge glass tower with beautiful views of the Freedom Tower. And you can see for miles from these apartments outside of the financial district. You see all the way up Manhattan. And it is a gorgeous, monumental new structure. And what I love about this building is the finishes are so high end. Truly, there is no detail that was overlooked in the development of 125 Greenwich Street. You'll see, I'll share some photos and video clips in the YouTube video if you're watching on there, but you'll also see it on my Instagram. There's tours that we've posted recently at 125 Greenwich Street, and it is just it's such a special project. To the closet doors, for example, being like trimmed with leather detail. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's 25 Park Row, 33 Park Row, 1 Park Row. These buildings border City Hall Park. They border green space. They have gorgeous facades and they're full of character. And you also have 25 Water Street, another building that is quite large that's been getting a lot of media attention. In these buildings, in terms of these new sales in these brand new structures that have been getting sold off, you're seeing prices on average of $2,000 per square foot for closed sales, which is pricey. It's very competitive. As far as the inventory that's remaining on the market in these buildings, some of the buildings are newer, releasing newer inventory. Other buildings that are more older other buildings out of the ones I mentioned that are not as brand new are still selling off some inventory or starting with resale. And in these buildings, what is on the market now, if you were to go shopping, you're looking at an average of $2,200 per square foot for the available inventory. As far as retail is concerned and neighborhood attractions and amenities, because you might be saying, Christina, okay, we get it. There's water nearby and you have some nice new condo buildings, but why would I want to be there? Finally, this neighborhood is attracting clientele that want the good life, that come to spend money. For example, high-end restaurants, high-end retail. You have the Tin Building, which was opened by Jean-Georges, celebrity chef. And this building is a gourmet supermarket with many different stations. And there's a butcher, there's a bakery, there's wonderful stuff. And there's also high-end dining in the Tin Building. You have the fully renovated Pier 17 shopping center, which is a mall and a concert hall on the rooftop, which has been a huge attraction to the neighborhood, housing high-end restaurants like the Fulton, which is one of Jean-Georges' seafood restaurants. You can get beautiful sushi there. There's Carne Mare, which is a steakhouse with a very nice vibe. There's Malibu Farm, which comes from California, which is a farm-to-table restaurant. Very special places, very unique, very big, lofty, beautifully designed, very high-end feel, and they have views of the river. You're looking directly at the Brooklyn Bridge, you're looking across at the water, and truly, if you were to dine at one of these restaurants, you feel like you are on vacation. You feel like you just left the city. You don't feel that hustle and bustle. You feel like you're in a waterfront resort town. As far as stores, there are luxury heritage shopping destinations. There's an Hermes on Broad Street. There is a Tiffany & Co. on Wall Street. There's also a Le Labo on Wall Street. Great shopping scattered throughout, and then condensed in the malls are more high-end shopping destinations. So there's the Brookfield Place Mall, which is located closer to the Battery Park City side of the neighborhood. And then there's the Westfield World Trade Center location mall that is a little bit more centrally located at the Oculus World Trade. And both of these destinations have every designer store you could look for. And Brookfield also has a high-end food court upstairs. And as opposed to a typical food court in a shopping center that you might find with your like Panda Express and other types of restaurants, what you get in this location at Brookfield Place is a Blue Ribbon sushi. You have a Black Seed Bagels. You have barbecue restaurants. You have dig-in restaurants. You have everything that you could look for in the designer dining front. One of the biggest retail announcements in the area, which is really going to be yet another announcement that shapes the branding and the feel of this neighborhood, is a brand new French department store opening at this one Wall Street location that I just mentioned earlier. And this designer department store is called Printemps. It comes from France, and it is a very exciting development in the financial district. The architecture is absolutely gorgeous. The store is beautiful. There are certain rooms of this department store with extremely high ceilings. There are rooms where you can try on shoes and have the absolute most beautiful ambiance around you with tall windows. And it's absolutely a work of art. And this store is going to enhance the retail scene in the financial district moving forward. I pray that it has longevity and that it does well. With the amount of money that they're investing here, I would be very surprised if it doesn't, especially the fact that there's an entire tower full of very high-end clientele that have direct access to this shopping mall. People that live in One Wall Street will be able to have a personal shopper shop for them and deliver their goods upstairs. It's really very cool. And there will be a little bit of everything in this department store. And again, it really will help the neighborhood further take shape. And aside from the fact that it's good shopping, the branding fits and the aesthetic fits in line perfectly with what we've been seeing blooming in the financial district. As far as the restaurant scene in the financial district is concerned, there is no shortage of gorgeous eateries. Just to name a few, you have Delmonico's, which is a famous dining establishment that dates back so many years. And this is one of the places that I feel, I mention it first because it encapsulates the financial district as a brand. It truly does. It has the heritage, it has the old New York, it has the regal vibe, the opulence, the high-end feel, and also the nod to old New York and tradition. It is a traditional menu, and the service is impeccable. It's not a place where, yes, it's going to be very trendy and it's going to be very buzzy and filled with like young people, for example, with service that matches that. Like the people that are going to Delmonico's know service. They understand what to expect from a proper eatery. Things are going to come out in order. You're going to have the right utensils. You're going to have the right serveware. The right dish is going to come out at the right time. The proper plate is going to be hot. The proper glass is going to be cold. These are things that you expect at a certain level, and this restaurant as well as other eateries in the financial district are doing this right. It's not a buzzy place where you go and you're let down. The Beekman Hotel, another phenomenal example of the retail scene that is taking shape in the neighborhood. And this one is not new per se. It's new in the context of the area, but it's been around for a while now. It's been around for a few years. And the Beekman Hotel has a few eateries and establishments that are very hot. And that is the Ballroom at the Beekman is one of my favorite places to go. It's always good, consistently good. I did a video on my Instagram featuring them recently. If it didn't post already, it's posting soon. It's a beautiful, large space, regal, old New York, wood, cedar, dark green, velvet, suede, like all of the things that you think of when you think of luxury, ambiance is here at the Beekman Hotel at the Ballroom at the Beekman. It's a wonderful place to host clients, to have events, hang out with friends. They do a brunch on the weekends with live jazz, which just further like affirms the mood of the neighborhood. It's very 1920s. It's very Great Gatsby. It's very Art Deco. And this is really coming to light at places like this. Also in the Beekman Hotel, you have the Temple Court restaurant. Temple Court restaurant is a high-end eatery, very nice refined menu, beautiful to go to for special occasions or just every day. And again, just another example of beauty in the financial district. You have more trendy eateries, especially the few that opened over at 70 Pine Street. You have Overstory, which is a speakeasy luxury type of cocktail lounge with gorgeous views. You have Manhattan, which is another beautiful refined restaurant with views that are just to die for. I mean, they are surreal, breathtaking, with a very high-end and refined menu to pair with it. There's also Saga, another restaurant that has been getting a lot of attention. Excellent menu, excellent food. And there's Crown Shy Restaurant, very fun, well-renowned chef, amazing ambiance, amazing food, amazing crowd. I love that the places that are opening and the interiors of these venues are matching the exterior. They're matching the old-fashioned Art Deco design that was originally built in this neighborhood. So the area is appreciating. There's still an opportunity to get great pricing as you might compare with other neighborhoods in Manhattan, especially if you're comparing new development projects. There's still an opportunity to get in and experience wonderful appreciation. I do believe that this area is on the brink of like popping or coming into its own and really appreciating in value. I am very confident in this. I purchased my own apartment here in this neighborhood over a decade ago, and it has experienced slow and steady growth, but I do believe that the heyday is coming. This is not an area that has by any means maxed out yet. Finally, it's getting eyeballs on it, and finally we have a trendy consumer that is interested in being here. And if you're wondering about the clientele that is already in this neighborhood, it's very interesting. When I describe it to my clients, I describe it as like a very specific consumer, and it's good. It's overall your ideal situation. People live in this area usually because for a specific reason. They probably work nearby at One World Trade or Brookfield, and they are in a leading industry and they want to live nearby. They want to be able to walk to work. They want to have convenience, and they find the convenience in this area. It's also a very logical clientele because the area has close proximity to pretty much every transportation outlet that you could need, including the ferries. Forget the subways, but the ferries. If you like to go to the beach on the weekends or weekdays and you want to hop on a ferry that's going to take you straight to the shore and be on the Jersey Shore beach in no time, you have that in the financial district. So your clientele that sees the longevity, sees the convenience factor, is the person who's buying and renting here. The rents in the area are high as compared to other neighborhoods. And again, you have this precise clientele that is renting here for a specific reason. So if you purchase an apartment here and you want to be an investor and you want to sublet it sublets very easily because you have a specific clientele that's coming for a reason. They're not shopping other neighborhoods. If they come to the financial district, they're usually looking specifically here, and the inventory rents out quickly. There's much less inventory in this neighborhood available as there is in other larger neighborhoods of Manhattan. To sum it up, this is a growing neighborhood. You would not be making a mistake by investing in it. I would be more than happy to help you if this is something that you're interested in and you would like more information. Please never hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you have after any of my episodes. My email address is christina.kremidas@element.com. You can also view my website and learn about myself and my team at christinakremidas.com. I'm always here for you guys. I give you my one-on-one attention, and I love when my YouTube and podcast and social media viewers reach out to me to work together. Thank you guys as always for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.